Poisoning is a much more significant health problem than many of us realize. In fact, it continues throughout life. It's not just with little kids getting into the kitchen cabinet, getting into cleaning products and all that kind of thing. Josephine Darwin is here from the Nashville Poison Center. It's good to have you back, Josephine.
Thank you.
I know you were on previously.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Good to see you. So poison can take many forms. It isn't just the kids getting under the sink, little toddlers. It can it can extend throughout life with mixing up meds. What is poison? I mean, we think of just anything toxic, like I can go back to cleaning products.
Sure. That's probably the most common thing that people think about with poisons or cleaning products. But a poison is anything at all that can make you sick, hurt you, or even kill you if it gets inside your body. And of course, the easiest way for a poison to get in your body is through your mouth by eating or drinking something. That could be a medicine, it could be a cleaner, anything like that. But poisons can also get into your body through your skin. That's a snake bite, spider bite, poisonous plant, or your nose by inhalants, huffing, things like that, or through your eyes by spraying or splashing something in your eyes. So, and anybody can be a poison victim.
I hadn't thought about it.
I know.
In entering the body in those other ways.
Right. We handle all types of poisonings.
I had no idea. I had no idea. Okay, so many of these are accidental kind of situations, and then there's some that are intentional with drug abuse and suicides, that kind of thing. So what do you do at the Tennessee Poison Control Center? I mean, you are a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation, basically.
Our primary program is a poison help hotline. Tennessee Poison Center is the only poison control center in Tennessee, and we serve all 95 counties. We're based at Vanderbilt, but we serve every county in the state. And our hotline, the 1-800-222-1222 number, is a free medical hotline for anyone to call if you suspect a poison. And last year we had over 50,000 calls to the hotline.
You are kidding me.
Yes, we have medical professionals who answer the phone who are full-time staff of the Poison Center. They're not dispatchers or volunteers, and they answer between 200 and 300 calls every single day.
They have to be very educated, obviously, on the exposure and what it means and what somebody needs to do if someone in their home has been exposed to something poisonous. I read in some of the literature to prepare for the show that there are more cases of poisoning than injuries from car accidents, or is that correct?
That is correct.
And that blew me away too, that statistic or that information.
I think everybody's shocked to learn that poisoning is the leading cause of injury death in Tennessee, ahead of motor vehicle accidents, gunshot wounds, drownings. I mean, most of it's due to the misuse and abuse of drugs. Tennessee has a very bad prescription drug problem. The national average of prescriptions per capita is 12, and in Tennessee we have 17 per person.
Are you involved in campaigns to educate people? I mean, obviously this is an educational moment with doing this. Do you do a lot of educational programs?
We do a lot of educational programs, and we work with the UT extension educators in every county to do programs, not primarily on drugs, even though that's part of our programs, but just on how to prevent poisonings in general. A lot of it is common sense, like putting things in high lock cabinets, but you know, it's things people just need to know about and refresh themselves on.
You know, there are probably a lot of incidents, I would imagine, even this time of year, flu season, with people maybe mixing prescriptions, over-the-counter things, depending on what other illnesses they may have, chronic conditions. Is that true?
Yes, we have a lot of calls about people who don't read the label. Either they take too much of a medicine, they give too much of a medicine to a child, they take an over-the-counter medicine not realizing that acetaminophen is in an over-the-counter medicine, and then take it in a prescription medicine, and then that can cause problems. We always like to say, make sure you read the label, and if you have glasses, make sure you have your glasses on when you read the label of any kind of medicine.
Okay, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but like, let's say you overdose or take too much acetaminophen. What kind of side effect, what would the illness be?
Well, It totally depends on the age, the weight, and
Okay.
how long ago, a lot of things. And since I'm not
Got
the
it.
medical professional, what we always like to say is to call the Poison Help Hotline
Okay.
as soon as you suspect a poisoning. And another thing is, don't wait for symptoms. If you walk into a kitchen and see a baby there with some cleaner on the floor and you're not sure if they have had any, you want to call the Poison Center and we can talk you through it and find out.
And most of the time you could probably get someone to a point where they're stable or they get the help quickly, because time is of the essence, isn't
Right.
it?
70% of our calls are managed at home under the monitoring of the poison specialist. And so that's why poison centers were started in the first place, is to keep people out of emergency departments when they don't need to be there and save those visits for someone who
Gotcha.
really needs it.
Okay. Is there a call that has really stood out or made an impression on you from someone?
Well, there are lots of calls, but I'll say one that really made an impression on me, and I thought it might have been just a one-time incident, but it was a senior who picked up super glue on her nightstand instead of her eye drops and put them in her eye. I just couldn't believe anybody that would happen, and I thought it might be an isolated incident, and no, it happens not frequently, but more than once.
Oh my goodness. You do hear about, I have a friend whose in-laws had switched medications. They were elderly, and she was taking his and he was taking hers, and obviously they weren't doing so well. And it wasn't until their children got there, the daughter-in-law and her husband saw what was going on. And so that's probably fairly common too, huh?
Yes,
in
that's
some
very
population.
common. Most of our calls are for children, about 58%, but then our second largest group are for older adults.
Okay, so what can we do to prevent this in the first place? You mentioned keeping things, as far as children go, up higher
Yes.
spots in the home. What else?
And also with medications, most of the prescription medications that teens and young adults find are found in their home or in a friend's home. So if you have prescription medicine, you need to keep it locked up. If your medicine has expired, you don't use it anymore, you need to get rid of it. And there are several places, which I know you've had someone on your show
yes.
talk about that, but get rid of medicine. Don't call medicine candy. Those are some of the big ones.
All right. Josephine, thank you so much.
Thank you for
Very
having me.
educational, very enlightening. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. And we'll be right back.